generate just one question. I'm going to ask the candidates to pick one of these two issues. It's going to be immigration or education. The order is going to be Ms. Kimberly, Robert, and Chris. And I'll ask the question once you pick the category, and then you will have your 2 minutes to answer. And this gives them, leading up into our closing, a little bit of an option to choose which of these final questions they might want and how they would prefer to answer. So starting with Kimberly, would you like immigration or education?
I'll go immigration.
All right. Immigration.
I mean, that's a hard choice.
Yeah, that's a challenge.
Seriously, I want both of them, but I'll do immigration first.
Okay, here we go. What comprehensive immigration reforms would you support to address both border security and pathways to legal status? And I'll ask again. What comprehensive immigration reforms would you support to address both border security and pathways to legal status?
Thank you for that question. And immigration has been a bait and switch game for decades. Bottom line, this is a land of immigration. Most of us were not here, unless you're Native American or Mexican, that came in the southwestern part of our country. You're all immigrants. And our economy thrives as a consequence of that. The good news is, there is an opportunity to make it better. If we actually simplify the immigration process, it didn't require at least, $15,000 to $20,000 and 12 years of jumping through hoops in order to ensure you fail at actually achieving citizenship here. We might actually be able to actually allow people that actually add to our economy and are our neighbors and enjoy the cultural differences we all have. But we, like other programs that the government has put into place, don't really want immigration because we can't control that. And we've created the hoops that actually disable people being able to be successful, especially when you come to a country you don't know very well, maybe, and you may not speak the language, and you don't make a lot of money. And so you move around a lot because housing becomes unstable when your bills don't work. And so you miss your notices, so you miss your hearings, and then we harm and violate the law and the rights of the people that are here in this United States as our laws protect. Those need to be followed. Habeas corpus needs to be followed, and we need to make immigration doable. But then we also, by doing that, we can actually have border security and spend money making sure that those that would come to this country, either illegally, not through the legal path, because the legal path is actually something you can accomplish, but also those that would come to harm, we could spend more time making sure those individuals that commit crimes or are at risk of causing crimes in our country are found right away. And that would improve our overall relationship with the rest of the world and our economy as well. Thank you.
Robert, which category, immigration or education?
Education.
Okay. What are the issues about education that you are most likely to be able to improve as a U.S. House Representative? And I'll ask again. What are the issues about education that you are most likely to be able to improve as a U.S. House Representative?
Well, supporting the Department of Education coming back, because right now we are seeing the attacks on our education system in our schools. We see what's happening, and I'm coming across one of the largest, I would say, groups I'm encountering as I'm campaigning are educators. And from, years of education, years of teaching that you're doing, and, and I never have a problem speaking with anyone, but you're probably the ones who speak to me the longest when I talk to you, because of how passionate you are about seeing where things are going from where they're coming from. Money coming from being taken out of the public school system, that's something else that I feel I definitely want to go aggressively against, or to support. I'm sorry, I stopped there. I'm against money being taken away from our public school system to go to charter schools and private schools and things like that. The as far as teacher salaries, I would like to support a minimum federal teacher salary, especially here in Florida. Dead last. That's fine. I don't have, if you're an educator, I don't have to tell you that, but we're dead last, and that's not acceptable. We're losing teachers. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of concern for us. I ran for the school board in Texas right after I retired from the Army before moving here in 2019. And I knew it was a problem. I didn't realize how big of a problem it was. And I know that's something that we have to stop putting on the back burner as far as protecting and making sure our educators are taken care of. Because we don't have schools, we don't have anything, all this technology in schools, every pretty thing that, you know, they want to try to throw at us. None of that means anything if you don't have educators making sure that they're taking care of the students. So those are the areas I feel I can do the most with, and definitely will always support.
Right, Chris, which category for you?
I'm gonna go with immigration.
All right.
It's like a game show.
What comprehensive immigration reforms would you support to address border security and pathways to legal status? And do you need that one again?
No, I
Good.
there you go. Thank you. No, the great thing about politics and learning about it is like the scientific method. You make an observation, you ask a question. Third step, you do the research. What's already been done? We've actually already got a lot of policies that would help this. One of them would be the bill that was proposed but not taken up by Republicans because they wanted to run on the issue. Now, what would that have done? First of all, that would have given them the performative measure being allowed to close the border. That's one. Two, they would have gotten more judges and they would have gotten more people to actually adjudicate all the backlog that we're dealing with right now. Our immigration system is not broken. It is acting exactly the way it was designed. They want to keep people like everybody else. They want to keep, especially those who are new to the country, may not know the language. They want to keep them under just enough duress to where they don't go to jail, but you have them, the people who they're putting under duress, worried about going to jail themselves. All just because they want to sit there and scratch out a living for their family. We need to make this a priority. I know that when I was in the military, we had one guy, I always remember his name, is Command Sergeant Major Malkovich. He came over, we all knew about it. Now, oftentimes we didn't know a lot about people, maybe our immediate commander, we knew about this guy. He did not pull any punches, he was direct with all of his language. He came over to this country from Poland, an immigrant, at 17, no money, not a word of English to his capability. By 19, he had enlisted in the military, and when I finally met him, he was a command sergeant major, the senior enlisted individual of our rank. A person who came over and the country gave him an opportunity. And this country clearly loved him, and he clearly loved the country himself because of all the service stripes he had up his sleeve. That's what we need to do. How we treat those that are least amongst us reflects mostly on how we are as a nation. So that's what I believe we should reform and make sure everybody can come in.